Welcome to the second science course specific video, a review of science courses at Baker College that will utilize direct measure assessment for scientific practice. This presentation is intended to be viewed after you have viewed the video ISLO Competency Assessment. This video will explain how the assessment process will work for your courses. Historically, at Baker, science was siloed as health science or non health science. We are moving forward with science falling under one umbrella. Based on what you have already learned, you know that we have a multidisciplinary approach to competency achievement. You will see an outline of each of the science courses that can be taken for science inquiry credit that require no prerequisite course, and a few other departmental add-ons that will be included in the assessment process. You can see here the list of courses in the science department broken up into two categories. The first column has all science classes that can serve for science inquiry credit. You've already seen in previous videos that all students require scientific inquiry credit. These courses have no prerequisite and are often taken in the first semester of the first year, although there are some circumstances where these courses are taken in alternate semesters. In the second column, you will see sequential courses, part 2 of a 2-class series, or a course that requires previous coursework. These classes do not serve for science inquiry credit, but are still essential in scientific practice. As a department, we will be collecting assessment data from these courses as well. One final note, laboratories will not have an ISLO direct measure competency assessment in the 2020-21 academic year, but we are looking forward to the inclusion of these courses in the 2021-22 academic year. In the next few slides, you will get an overview of what each direct measure is and how they are scored. You may have noticed that Anatomy and Physiology 1 and 2 have assignments listed in the previous slide notated as Step 1 and Step 2. These assignments were designed to build on each other, as most students who begin the sequence of AMP1 will continue on to AMP2. However, it should be noted that the assignments from both AMP1 and 2 can stand alone for those students not requiring the sequence of both classes, or for those students who transfer in and may not require both courses. Both biochemistry and microbiology have similar assessments. They are research papers designed to challenge students to explore a topic or a subtopic from the course content that incorporates each of the competencies you have already learned about. Keep in mind that many of the ISLO assignments come near the end of each term. You can build experiences either by instructor discretion or engagement activities that help prepare students for the level and style of assignment that is coming. In general chemistry and general physics 1 and 2, students are expected to write a formalized lab report. Each course has a lab component built into the lecture setting. These courses run for 4 credits each, with required laboratory hours assumed into that credit load. Because these courses focus heavily on learning and understanding by participation in physical or chemical principles, the ISLO assessment will stem directly from the course infrastructure. Students will practice writing lab reports in smaller scale throughout the duration of the term. For physics concepts, integrated physics, and pathophysiology, students are asked to write a traditional research paper. But in this research paper, they are asked to relate course content to specific practices. Students are challenged to logically reason and relate content-driven topics to real-world problems and provide or propose creative and well-rounded solutions. Students will integrate existing knowledge and synthesize new or inferred meanings as they provide logical rationale. The TOSLS, the Test of Scientific Literary Skills, is a research driven exam designed to assess the ability of students to recognize and analyze scientific methodology and the ability to organize, analyze, and interpret scientific findings. In the previous direct measure for both of these courses, students took a multiple choice exam during the first week of class and again in the last week of class. Their skills ability was tracked via an increase in number of correct questions. While this method in providing analysis on student ability to understand and remember, this did not allow us to be able to observe growth in application, evaluation, and analysis of scientific processes. The new modified test draws strongly from ISLO 1 and 3 to measure student competencies. Now that you are familiar with the direct measure assignments, you will learn about how the assessment rubric works. It is understood that these courses listed in the previous slides are taken by mostly freshmen. In most cases, they come into the college without having these skills finely tuned. It is the goal of the university to see progression of skills as students matriculate through the university. It is not expected that intro level students will reach capstone for our courses. Some students may excel ahead of the rest, but we expect about 80% of students to fall within specified milestones you see here. What is here is only a prediction, and you may find that your students do not meet in some cases or actually exceed these expectancies in others. Please remember to evaluate them individually and holistically. What is unique about outcomes assessment is that each direct measure is evaluated on the same rubric. Each assignment created as a direct assessment was done in such a way that each outcome is represented. You will see some courses there may be extra outcomes dependent on the style of assignment. For example, in courses where there is an oral presentation, oral communication from ISLO 1 is also assessed. In courses where there is no oral presentation, this will not be included. Each direct measure assessment will be graded in Canvas as part of required assignments for the students, but the ISLO grading will not impact their final score. You will not have to go to a different platform to enter these grades either. The ISLO rubric will be directly under the grading rubric for the assignment. The descriptions of each milestone and what we predict 80% of students to achieve is outlined in this presentation along with the courses that will have ISLO competency assignments. This information is here for your review while grading, as well as will be provided in the supporting Science Canvas community you will be enrolled in upon completion of this course. As we mentioned in the previous video, you will be supported fully along the way, and any questions you may have will be answered in a timely fashion. Please always feel free to reach out to your campus director or to a member of the CTE.